We call dogs man's best friend, but many dogs are used in medical research that sometimes ends their lives.
Now, a new LA-based group is working to save dogs that would otherwise be euthanized when the research work is finished. Our David Ono has a closer look at the increasingly violent fight over animal rights and research. And a warning to viewers, some of the images in this story are disturbing to watch.
This video provided by PETA shows beagles bred and born for life in a cage, the subject of experiments and sometimes outright torture. Beagles are the most popular breed because they are so trusting and friendly. PETA says in this Ohio laboratory, beagles are force-fed the painkiller OxyContin.
They get real excited or they'll calm right down.
These are two of the lucky ones. Bigsby and Freedom survived years of experimentation at a research facility in Northern California.
I jumped at the chance to save them.
Activist and animal rights attorney Shannon Keith won't say which facility.
These are his first steps on the grass ever.
She hopes by keeping the lab's name out of the news, more beagles will be voluntarily released alive.
It is a university. It is in California. And these particular beagles were subjected to toxicity tests.
You might have noticed no barking. Both beagles were debarked by the breeder who sold them to the lab.
They don't scream in pain, they don't bark, and they don't bother the lab technicians.
On each ear, a tattoo of the dog's federal ID number.
It's just awful that you used to be known by a number.
Kimberly Dreyer is Freedom's new owner. She says life outside the lab has been an adjustment.
He's learning how to play fetch. So at first he didn't even know what a ball was. I'd throw it and he'd just kind of look at it like, what are you doing? What is that?
The story of these pups made us wonder how common are dogs, cats, even monkeys used in animal research, and the numbers are surprising. According to the USDA, 75,000 dogs were used in 2009, 21,000 cats. And as for non-human primates like monkeys, 124,000, and that's in 1 year.
These are the devices they use to put the electrodes into the brain.
Dr. Jerry Vlasic is a practicing trauma surgeon here in LA who used to experiment on animals himself. He is also a spokesperson for the Animal Liberation Front, a group the FBI calls the nation's top domestic terror threat.
I'm not a terrorist. I don't think I've inflicted terror on anybody who didn't deserve to have terror inflicted on them.
Stephen Gomez is special agent in charge at the FBI.
They're very dangerous because, for one, they're very intelligent. They're very sophisticated, clearly based on the attacks and the devices that they're using.
Vlasic compares animal rights to the U.S. civil rights movement.
All of these successful liberation struggles have always involved some element of either violence or the threat of violence.
And says murder may be justified to stop animal experimentation.
I would hope that hurting or killing or assassinating them would not be necessary. But again, I would say that it would certainly be morally justifiable if all other methods have failed.
How many animals have to die?
A top target of animal activists, Dr. David Jentsch, a neuroscientist at UCLA who studies the biology of mental illness and addiction.
Monkeys are euthanized because of this research. But I can't ignore the millions of preventable deaths that biomedicine has the potential to change.
Monkeys are being addicted to PCP, methamphetamines, nicotine, as if we don't already know enough about the harmful effects of smoking.
It's absolutely correct to say that we know that tobacco is harmful. It's completely another thing to say that we know why that is. And the why is where the secret of the cure is. It's the most crucial question of all.
Protest tactics are changing. Activists now taking their fight away from the university labs directly to the homes of researchers. Jentsch's car was firebombed. He lives with round-the-clock security and faces regular protests and threats.
Let us inside!
I've received razor blades sent to me in the mail with threats to cut my throat.
Dr. Dario Ringach used to experiment on animals at UCLA, but then activists threatened his young children.
He's no different than those who marched the Jews off to concentration camps.
They stood outside counting up the minutes.
10 minutes, no cop!
We've been here for 1 minute, no police yet.
11 minutes, no cop! What can happen in 11 minutes, Dario?
Dr. Ringach eventually sent this email to the activists. Its title, "You win." He gave up animal research. Dr. Jensch says these photos show what life is really like for monkeys in his lab.
They live socially, they have enrichment, they've got toys, they live in big exercise cages where they climb around.
Dr. Jensch was willing, but UCLA administrators would not allow Eyewitness News into his lab. Meanwhile,
He loves the belly rubs.
Kimberly and her new best friend are enjoying his newfound freedom and hoping more research animals find their way into loving homes.
Oh, you're a good boy.
David
You're a
Ono,
good boy.
ABC 7 Eyewitness
You're
News.
a good boy. Hi. Hi.
The LA-based Beagle Freedom Project expects to receive 10 to 15 more dogs from a research lab in Colorado next month. If you'd like to adopt one, go to our website, abc7.com, and click on See It on TV at the top of the page.
Really sweet dogs.